70 grit. Of course, that's got a bunch on the floor. I'll vacuum it up. Whew. What's up, guys? I just wanted to keep you up to date on what we did. We've got the other side grinded down. Now this floor looked like that. See on the black there? What that is mastic. And that's, so you can, you know, if you go to the rental place and say you go get a grinder and rent it from them, the only thing they sell are these things they call strip certs. And what that is it takes the glue up. Well, on the black glue, that doesn't work. On the black mastic, they just go right over the top, does not work. This here, you have to find a company in advance that sells these. Now we get ours from Flooring FX in Marion, Illinois. And that's where we got our machine at, right? And so we got a brand new machine. We had an accident happen to where you had the plate here. We hit the plate because those wheels turn on the bottom, and what it did is it bent the shaft. Well, make a long story short, had to rent one till the shaft comes in. We got the shaft ordered and all that good stuff. But at any rate, so when you go to the rental store, they're not going to sell you the right ones. The only ones that they have are these grinding bits that are a 30. Is that what's on the machine, Caleb, or do you got 16s?
16s.
So it's just like a wood floor. You got to start out real coarse. This is what it starts at. And from here to that wall, you got to tilt the machine back and peel that stuff off. It's like rubber. Look at this. Because it heats up. It heats up, so if you try just a regular grinding bit on the floor, it will not work. It'll just gum up. And this is what it does. This is the same bit. We just have extras. So it took a little while. Took basically all day. Actually, I started on it last night, so I had about 3 hours on it last night, then all day today, and this is only 800 square feet, and that's how long it took to get it off. And you can still see some of it's stuck. So when you're laying your epoxy, a lot of guys will try to go over it. You don't want that. You want the best floor possible. So now that we got that up, we switched to a 16 minutes. Just like when you do a wood floor, you start at the lower grits and you move up, you know, 30, 60, 80, 100, 120, and you keep rotating it. Here's the bits. Those are 16. And so, is that what you got on that 16?
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll do it one time with a 16, and then we'll go up even higher to a 70. That's what that is there. That's a 70. And so what that does, it makes the concrete coarse or smooth. You could go all the way up to 300 if you're doing polished concrete, but we're going to stop at the 70. We want to make sure our epoxy has a good bond, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lay down a primer coat, right? When we lay that primer coat down, that just starts building it up so the epoxy looks better. You know what I mean? It levels the floor out better. So we'll do one at 300 square feet per gallon. Then we'll come back, clean it up, of course. And then what we'll do is we'll lay an application at 50 square feet per gallon. That's nice and thick, pouring it on there. And so we'll let that dry. And then we're gonna do that again, another one at 50 square feet a gallon. Man, that just makes it gives it more depth, it looks better. You have to do that with a solid color or metallic, right? A lot of guys, you know, they kind of give us a bad rep. I'm not gonna mention any names, but what they do one application at 45 or 50 square feet per gallon. They might use a primer, but what that does is it just doesn't build the depth and stuff like that. And if you try to just paint epoxy on, like if you don't know what you're doing and you just think that you're gonna paint epoxy on the floor, it's not gonna work, because the reason we want it thick too is not just for strength, is if something falls in it, it sinks to the bottom. Hair, bugs, stuff like that, it sinks all the way to the bottom. So, anything else, Caleb, that I need to mention? But it's a process, guys, just to let you know. And you gotta, just like on a wood floor, you gotta hit your edges with a hand grinder. you know what I mean, and catch it up, because you want your floor to be level. And you don't want it super smooth to where it won't stick. You want it to have some grab. And this crack, you got to fill the cracks. See this crack here? So we've got some stuff, I can't remember the name of it, but you can look, it's a powder, and we mix it with epoxy, right? So the epoxy that we're putting down actually bonds to it, but it works really good, man. You won't see that crack when you're done. If you do not fill the crack, I guarantee you, you will see the crack, because the epoxy will run in it, it'll keep running, then you'll see the crack, it'll shine through. Even at doing 2 like we do, that crack will still show up. So it has to be filled. So, before you guys go doing epoxy jobs on your own, you need to give Top Floors and More LLC a call in Paducah, Kentucky. You guys have a great day. You know we are. Crack sealer. Hey guys, so we used a 16th inch trowel. You see that right there? Then I cross rolled it back and forth this way. A lot of guys don't do this, but we hit it with the torch because we're gonna pop as many bubbles as we can. I know that we could sand it back down, and when we put our top coat of urethane, it'll cover them all, but we just soon do it nice and even. Hey guys, this solid color turned out really great. You can see how shiny it is here, you know, because epoxy is shiny, but by itself it's weak. So for the finish on here, what we did is we put a high wear urethane. That means we added aluminum oxide into our finish, and that makes it super durable, scratch resistant, and it works really great with metallics also. And man, it turned out pretty dang good. And then the middle of the floor, they put in a new basketball gym floor. Thank you guys.